Hello and welcome to Reviews. I know this came out last week. I just haven't had a chance to get to it, and I've been wanting to come back to this because it caught my eye, and it's a little bit different. And again, this is not something I'm intending to do. It's just I'm catching a lot of these Boom comics. I know Boombox is an imprint of Boom, and I'm not sure what the different imprints mean. But anyway, this book, it caught my eye, and so I figured I'd take a look at it. Again, I wanted to get to it beforehand. But yeah, one thing I noticed just before I started this video is I did not even see this. This is one of five. So it's a 5-issue limited series. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and jump into it. It starts off with this frozen lake. Chapter 1, How Hexley Daggert Ragbottom Came to the Beach. And so we got the frozen lake, and we have all this magic. I could say so much worse, but being flung back and forth. And then we get this 2 pages of just this battle going on. All the magic stuff. And it's really cool. The colors and everything going on. Who did the colors in this book? Illuminations by Meg Casey. Why do I know that name? Anyway, it did a good job. And Connor Nolan. The artist sometimes kind of reminds me, almost has like an R. Crumb feel to it. Maybe it's just me. But yeah, I enjoyed this book. I enjoyed the art. I'll come back though. So yeah, we get more of the battle going on, and we see this raven who's just kind of watching everything, and takes flight, and comes back to this house where there's a child sitting in front of the fire. But the raven is actually his father. Turns back into his human form. What news do you bring, father? Nothing more sharing. I assume the waterfalls of the eternal remain frozen then? The frost is not only dwindling our magic, but most of our creature allies have turned to the dark forces. Times have changed, boy. There isn't much more we can do. And the sun is not taking this. The creatures have turned because they want to live. You're going to keep losing the same fight until our magic dies or we die from the cold. Hexley Dagbert Ragbottom, you will not use such words in this house. And, basically like a son rebelling against his father, the son knows everything. And, I'm going to Uncle Salazar. He is the only one that can help us. He will teach me some of his magic. You will not. My brother is an irresponsible man whose mind is drowning in morning dew. The human world is no place for wizards. Uncle Salazar is the greatest wizard of all. You feel nothing but jealousy toward him. He turned his back on us, and you are too young to concern yourself with issues of adult wizardry. I forbid you to seek him out. But instead, the son is going to take to the road to find his Uncle Salazar. Which then brings us to this kind of almost wham page here, where he walks out of the woods, and there's a truck going by. There's a billboard. He's going through a crowd of people. He gets on a bus. Tell me, tiny human, have you slayed your first dragon yet? Honey, we don't talk to wizards. So he finally gets to the beach. He sees a skeleton walking. Excuse me, fine sir. But do you know the whereabouts of the magnificent Salazar Ragbottom? And, skeleton kind of points over. And now, off to see the wizard. Okay, a little bit out of place. But maybe the Wizard of Oz transcends the human and magic world. So then we get this 2-page spread of Wizard Beach. And, some people may say that there's more detailed art out there. This was fun to look at. It really was, because I found myself going through and, analyzing everything that's out there. Everything you see. And again, the colors. Who was it again? Oh yeah, Meg Casey. Did a great job. At least I assume. I just glanced at it. Meg Casey. I'm guessing Meg Casey did the colors. And color did maybe. I hope Meg Casey. Because they did the whole incantation. Yeah, because incantations probably be lettering, illuminations. Yeah, it makes sense. That'd be the coloring. And the coloring's good. It's, yeah, colorists are one of those jobs that when they do their job well, normally you don't notice. If they do a good job, it's like, okay, this is serviceable. Usually you only notice the colorist if it's really good or really bad. So it's kind of unsung in some ways. And yet I felt the coloring on this book was really good. It looked really, really good. And I just had to gush for a second there. So we come back to Huxley finding his Uncle Salazar sleeping on a floating beach towel. And he leans up with a start. Hex, it's been too long. Give your uncle a hug. What sort of charade is this? Our magic and people are dying. And so his uncle hugs him. I journeyed here because I need you to teach me the ways of the wand, and I find you laying half naked while the sun burns your body. This is a mockery to wizards everywhere. Hex, chill out, man. Life's more than battling frost giants. Let's get a smoothie and catch up first. Oh, and call me Sally. Doesn't sound as stiff. I will not. End of chapter 1. There's 3 chapters in the book. Between the chapters, they have kind of like a little page. And this is the Great Wizard Migration. It goes through really quickly, explaining how Salazar led a bunch of wizards. They kind of got fed up and decided they're going for warmer climates. Basically, they're retiring to Florida. And he finds a beach that had been abandoned by humans, and so they take up shop there. And the human community did not know that wizards really existed. And so they were kind of, in shock of this. And this is the first time wizards have appeared before humans. And then also, some people basically, like on the other side, frost giants have come down. And, they're tired of the fighting. It turns out frost giants are really good tattooists. So the frost giant opens up a tattoo shop. But after a while, the humans, kind of get used to magic, having wizards around. Think of like Harry Potter if the Muggles knew about wizards and they've been living together for so long, and they're no longer so impressed. So yeah, he even says that as a show of good faith, Salazar set up magic blockers along the freeways and boardwalks so that magic cannot be performed in those areas, so they can kind of separate and feel a little bit safer, I guess you would say. So then we go into chapter 2. The Return of Richard Flubin. And, or is that Philbin? No, it's Flubin. So, while I will say one thing, one problem with this was the page was a little hard to read. The way the panels lined up. I wasn't sure if this was a 2-page spread, but it really kind of isn't. My one gripe was just the panel layout of these 2 pages. So Salazar is getting basically a mani, and he's getting his cleaned. And Hex is trying to get him to teach. Will you teach me the scholarly magic I came for? That's a little more towards the middle. That's my pie tasting finger. What? So Hex even says, have you been paying attention? Don't worry, youngins. Those whiskers will come in when they're supposed to. And realizes that, he thinks talking about his beard. And while his beard is being cleaned, they discover this guy. Richard Flubin, you're still alive. That came out of your beard? I think I'm going to... You slippery fool. I thought I lost you during the Zipoli Wars years ago, succumbed to a powdered sugar grave. It's so good to see you again. I believe the beard will have to wait. We have some catching up to do. What tales from the Beardlands do you have? And, we can excuse us, and his dentures are talking to him. You do realize you will not be able to enjoy food properly if you leave us here. May we remind you of the weekly Wizard's Lunch? You are correct. So, yeah, it's just a couple pages of chapter 2. And we get a quick little thing about various wizards before we go into chapter 3. Chapter 3, The Spice Demon. A wizard's lunch sounds exactly why I came here. Is it in a grand hall full of the taxidermy heads of slain beasts? Will there be tables of roasted meat and gallops of mead? Will there be talk of secret powerful magic? And Scuttlebugs, where's the wizard is that thing? And the sandwich partner hat. Hex, you delicious pale little wizard boy, now we can lunch. And here we are, Hex. I'd like to introduce you to the Wizard Beach Council. Wait, you're kidding, right? So, this crispy old duggard is Fyodor Flamungus. Fyodor is the beach's source of fashion. Not only does he own and operate Fyodor's Closet, but he has a knack of spotting future trends and is considered the beach's best-looking wizard. Next is Belinda Hagfish. Madam Hagfish, a founder of the infamous Second Order of the Shrouded Starling, is the organizer of wand ball tournaments and curator of Otherwise Useless, the beach's wizard museum. And lastly, I had to pull out for this. And lastly, we have the late Barry Wonder, a.k.a. the Delightful Corpse. His wand didn't deal with his owner's passing very well. It's a love-hate relationship between the two. This is my nephew, Hex. He's come to visit from the cold, bad place we don't talk about. No. This behavior is highly inappropriate. And it's Hexley, not Hex. His wand is dragging him. And, who would have known? The whole time fluid was in my beard. He's resting in a soap dish in my medicine cabinet. Poor little guy needed a rest. This is not what I had in mind. No roasted meats or piping hot stew. He realizes, is he? And Madam tells, Dead? Yes. Very. His wand brings him to life, that is, when it isn't off hitting on driftwood. Barry will perk right up when Casanova finishes the recharge. If only I could enjoy the pleasures of flavor again. Tongue tanning does have its disadvantages. Speaking of flavor, the sandwich is lacking in it. Let me go grab some enchantments. I'll be right back. Wizards and witches have a long history of maintaining a certain degree of class and honor, a history you all are burying in the sand and tainting with processed meats. So I'm going to end it off here soon, but basically he goes back, finds a spice demon that he ends up defeating with salt and pepper packets. And so, yeah, I'm going to end it there. This book, I didn't know what to make of it. When I saw it, I kind of flipped through, and I'm like, okay. Some of the art caught my eye. I don't think I showed that. And yeah, there's something about, maybe it's just that this Salazar reminded me of, oh God, what is R. Crumb's character? The Mr. Natural. Maybe just remind me of that in the art style a little bit. But this book is fun. It is. Why can't comics be fun anymore? It's silly and goofy. Imagine. Why is that not focusing today? Imagine, the Harry Potter world where Dumbledore just says screw it. He's returning to the beach. Doesn't care who knows. He's not going to fight in the wars anymore. Yeah, and you find that from both sides, because the frost giants come down, they're working together on the beach, and yeah, this is Wizard Florida. And like I said, the art, I enjoyed the art, and the coloring looked really good. And yeah, it's funny. And also the other thing, the pace of the book, it's boom, 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 boom. I can keep doing this. I can just keep doing this all night. It's also saving on my voice. Okay, I went way too long on that joke. As you know, my voice is actually starting to cut out again. I really love this book. The pacing on it, it just kept going, just kept hitting boom, 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 boom. We have this Hex, who is, basically appalled by everything he sees. He thinks he's going to find, his uncle, the great wizard, who's going to teach him everything. And he's just basically, he doesn't give a rat's tail about anything. I love this book. I really enjoyed it. Um, I was worried because when I was going to review it for this, I set it down somewhere earlier and I couldn't find it. But yeah, I found it. I ended up setting it on my dresser for some reason. But yeah, I enjoyed this book, and it's a 5 issue limited series. Um, so yeah, I want to see where it goes, but I'm enjoying it. I am really loving this, and yeah, 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Um, Only because some of the panels I felt made it a little bit hard to read. That one, wherever it was really bad after he gets to the beach, and it's in chapter 2 somewhere. Um, yeah, this part, there's a few panel layouts I thought could have been done a little bit better, but other than that, I, I really enjoyed this book. So yeah, I would recommend this one definitely, and I will be picking up the other 4 issues. I'm going to follow this. So oh, maybe I am becoming a Boom fanboy. I gotta find some bad books. They gotta put out something bad. I need to balance it. So, anyway, thanks for watching, and I will be back again because I just remembered the new X-23 book came out too. Why do I do it to myself? Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time.